Hello, H-Town Rundown, Houston Rockets fans. Guys, we've got a big episode today. It's the last game of the season we get to talk about. So let's jump right into the intro, baby. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for actually joining us today. We've got a special guest here, my boy Ryan, and my usual co host, Dante. So, guys, how are you guys doing today? Please, please, please tell me how you are. Go ahead and, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, turn the mics on.
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome, man. Nice to have Ryan on the show. And again, it was a great season for our Houston Rockets. So
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Like you said, great season for the Rockets. 41-41, ended .500. A lot better than the last three seasons.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of things you got to talk about. So Ryan here, he is actually a boy. He's a reporter. He goes to college and all that stuff. So I'm kind of interested, Ryan. Why are you a Rockets fan? And you're going to school to kind of be a reporter from what I told, or what you kind of spoke to me about a little bit before, some sort of journalism and media guy. So go ahead, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a Rockets fan. I was born and raised in Houston. I grew up going to Rockets games my whole life, and it's also just a thing that runs in my family. Like my dad got me and my brother really big into basketball, and now my brother plays for one of the best AU teams in the nation. So he's a hooper, and I like to watch, I like to analyze, I like to report on it. So basketball has always been something that runs part of my life, and I'm a student at the University of Missouri. I'm studying journalism with an emphasis in broadcasting. My goal in the future is to hopefully be a broadcaster for ESPN or Inside the NBA on TNT.
Okay, boy got goals, man. As long as you can get up there, and I'm tired of hearing about Max Kellerman. So if we can get you to replace him out there, that'd be beautiful. We'll have some actual takes out there for Houston. But it's good to have you on. Appreciate you jumping on. So yeah, let's get right into it today. So for the Rockets rundown we got going on here, we're gonna talk about the Clippers and Rockets last game of the season. Quite an interesting game. No big three for LA, but it was fun and everything we talk about. And then later we're going to talk about towards the end of it, just kind of, some general stuff, just nothing too crazy, just end of the season discussion. So let's jump right into it. The Rockets game, all right? 116-104 W. A lot of people had a lot of things going on in this game. We had a lot of fun stuff going on, from Boban and his chicken to Amen triple double. So let's start breaking it down right now. Amen ended up having a triple double in his game tonight in 40 minutes of play. 18 points, 10 boards, 11 assists. 11 assists is a career high, by the way, with 3 steals and 3 blocks. Arguably his best game of the season. Shot 90% from the field. Didn't get a chance to shoot any threes, but he went 67% from the free throw line, which pretty solid for a non-shooter. And then Cam Whitmore, he had a plus 14 in 36 minutes played. In the game, we ended up winning by 12. Nice, solid 21.6 boards and 5 assists, by the way. I mean, his career high assist a few games ago was like, what, 3 assists? So it's really nice to see him passing that rock around. Then he had a steal. Absolutely fantastic. Shot pretty okay from the field, 53%, but he only went 33% from 3 and the free throw line. Not fantastic, but again, this is end of the year game. There wasn't, a lot of stakes for the Clippers, no seeding. They weren't trying too hard. And a lot of our players are out there just having fun, And speaking of fun, Boban, man, he had a season high in points and rebounds for us in this game. In 12 minutes played, 13 points, 8 boards, an assist, and a steal, and a block. He actually filled it up in his few minutes played. He went 6 of 8 from the field, and he went 33% from the free throw line. Guys, he missed those free throws on purpose, didn't he? He wanted to give them some chicken. Boban is a man of the people, and I was so excited to see him give those people. I mean, he missed that first one. I'm not sure if it was truly intentional or not, But after he missed the first one, he started looking up. And he started giving the head nod, and he gave him some free chicken. So it sucks I couldn't be there for some of that, but it was really nice. So go ahead, Dante, and break down this game for us, man. I mean, it's the final game of the season. So what are your thoughts? I mean, our rookies took over. The bench played pretty well, pretty productive in this game, and it was a absolutely atrocious game from Jalen Green. It looked like he was in Cancun from the start. So let's go ahead and let's start it up, man.
It was a good start. It was a good finish of the season. And yes, Boban missed that second one on purpose. That's what type of guy he is, man. That's the reason why he's on this team. I mean, he's a great guy to have in the locker room. He's not going to play. He's not going to play a lot, but when he does, he's going to make the most of those minutes when he does play. But again, man, it was a good closeout from the start of the season. The game didn't mean nothing for the Clippers because they were already in the playoffs. They're getting ready to play Dallas in the playoffs. But again, it don't mean you shoot 5 of 14 from the free throw line, 35%. It don't mean you made 35% of your free throws. And we had 31 assists. Everybody was touching the ball. We had the 18 turnovers. We normally keep our turnovers down. But, without Fred VanVleet, you're going to turn over the ball a lot. I mean, it's just 74 paint points. We 8 in the paint, even when Mason Plumlee then was in the paint. But again, the game didn't mean a lot for the Clippers. They didn't have everybody. And we were just out there having fun. It was good to see Amen Thompson get his first triple-double of the season. It was good to see that. You're going to see plenty more of them throughout his whole Rockets career. And Cam Whitmore, barring no injury, he's going to be a stud in the league, man. And I still can't wrap my head up why they wasn't in the All-Star weekend for the rookies. It still bums me out a little bit. But you saw some dramatic improvement, no doubt about it. Jabari Smith had a solid game, but other than that, just Cam Whitmore and and Amen Thompson having his first triple-double. I like that.
Yeah, not too much to say about that. Ryan, did you end up watching this game?
So I did get to watch parts of game. Being at college, I don't really have all the time in the world, but I did get to watch some of the game. I think my biggest takeaways from this game are just the rookie standouts. Rafael Stone just got his contract extension, so props to him for that.
W.
After taking Cam Whitmore, I mean, it was very well deserved. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't very high on Amen Thompson, but I'm really happy that we drafted him. Really glad we got Cam Whitmore, and so it's really showing.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that both rookies outplayed, Jalen Green in this game. And again, Jalen Green, he my boy. I got to give him a little bit of grief in this game. It's the last game of the season. I don't know where his head was at, but bro was just pulling up. The second he was touching that rock, he wasn't looking to score at all. I mean, I saw Cam open way too many times. And again, I get it, last game of the season, but we still got to go out there and win. It was not a great game from him. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. But it was good to see our rookies show out. I mean, Amen getting a triple-double, kind of reminds me of, I think it was the season before when Austin Reeves was on the Lakers and he had that 20 or 30-point triple-double as the last game of the season. That was really fun. This kind of was that, 18 points, not 30, but, 18-point triple-double, and his defense. I mean, I get that he's not going to make an all-defensive team, but he's an all defensive level defender, 100% all across the board. There's no way around that. In this game, Amen was everywhere as per usual. Again, he shot almost 90% from the field with 18 points and 10 boards. I mean, it didn't even get a chance to, shoot a three, but that's not what it's about. Amen is so great. And then again, Cam Whitmore, just a certified bucket getter and showing off his playmaking skills, like I said in this game, but 21 points on 53% shooting. Not bad on top of the nasty block he had late in the third quarter. They're absolutely phenomenal. Other than that, I mean, there's not too much to take away from this game, right? It's just his last game of the season, not too much going on. And that's kind of it. Dante, do you have any final thoughts on that? I mean, we absolutely destroyed them in the paint. What you said, 74 paint points.
I mean, like Ryan said, we just wanted to see. No, basically it was about the rookies. Amen Thompson and Whitmore. It was just basically about them, about those guys and whoever else got in the game. Nate Williams got some minutes. He played pretty well in the minutes that he got. Hinton got some minutes, so it was good. And Samuel, it was good to see those guys get some minutes. The last game of the year, but Other than that, nothing to look forward to this game. Again, the Clippers didn't have their players, and we all could expect they didn't have their players because they were resting them. They just getting ready for the playoffs. But I'll say again, we just saw the rookies, lead the team, lead the charge away. So, nothing less from this game.
Yeah, not too much to go. So I know it's a little bit early, but that's all we have for the game, guys. So now we get to talk about kind of the end of season stuff. Some things that we liked during the season, some things that we didn't like during the season. Just let's talk about the season. Let's air it out. And I'll go ahead and I'll say the first thing on here. What the hell, Jalen Green? I'm so glad that you turned it around in March. But towards the end of the season there again, started to not care. We had that game against Golden State, which was a backbreaker, and then we lost 2 straight before that. Absolutely terrible. So I just kind of want to hear some of your guys' thoughts. So go ahead, Ryan, and give me a couple either plays or games, or moments in the season where you were just genuinely disappointed with the Houston Rockets.
You said disappointed? Ooh, disappointed. I mean, at the beginning of the season, Jalen Green, he was still very inconsistent. I wouldn't say it really wasn't just a play, but it was just that one part of the season before All-Star break when he was super inconsistent. But after All-Star break and he hit the gas, whole new player.
A whole new player, man. I mean, they had a couple games earlier, in the season with him and Şengün. They had that. They were like one of the youngest duos to score 30 points together or something like that. And they were trying to click. Trying to figure out like what the move is, how they're going to work together on top of integrating Fred and Dillon Brooks into the lineup with 2 rookies, with the men and Cam Whitmore. There was so much that Ime had to do. And I think a lot of it was just like, hey, Jalen, you need to figure it out. I can't give you the attention that you kind of need right now. I've got to deal with everything else. You need to grow up a little bit. And we saw Alperen Şengün the entire season, just go absolutely berserk. I will not forget his, that game he had against Wemby. Absolutely phenomenal. One of my favorite parts of the season. But like you said, so disappointing though. Jalen Green, that was one of them. I think another thing that was disappointing was towards the middle and the end of the season was Dillon Brooks' 3-point shooting. He started to regress to this guy who, wasn't shooting as many threes, or when he did shoot a lot of threes, they were not going in. They were, breaking off the side of the backboard and all that. Not fantastic. But on top of that, his defense fell off, and he thought he was Dillon Brooks from, Memphis. That's not why we signed him to be Dillon Brooks from Memphis. We signed you to be a defensive player and score if you can. But that's it, Dante, come on, man. Give me some of your disappointments from the season.
Well, it's not really a disappointment for me, but I'm gonna say what I didn't like, and I didn't like Jae'Sean Tate playing a lot over Cam Whitmore. At some point, at a lot of point when I knew Cam Whitmore was officially better than Jae'Sean Tate, like I've been saying all along. I think Jae'Sean Tate is, when he was shooting hot at the beginning, I knew that wasn't gonna last. You couldn't expect that to be last when he was shooting hot. He started off scorching hot from the 3-point line. So other than that, it just came to the point where we had to just admit. I had to say Cam Whitmore just better than this guy. That's all it is. But nothing against Jae'Sean Tate. It's just Cam Whitmore a little bit longer, a little bit. He's young, way younger. He's got a lot of the upside. He's got defensive versatility.
Very good
defense. And he can shoot the basketball, and he can put the ball on the floor, go to the rim. And he's 6'7", and he's 250 pounds. So he is just as big of Jae'Sean Tate, but a better overall player. I thought Ime Udoka stuck with him a little bit longer than I thought once he saw that. But other than that, once you start seeing Cam Whitmore develop more and more, that's when Ime Udoka starts saying, "Nah, Jae'Sean, he got to be out there. Cam Whitmore really got to be out there to play." And Ime Udoka, one thing I loved about Ime Udoka, he played with the young guys. The young guys got a lot of time. The young core guys got a lot of time, and that's what you need. We all complained at the start of the season, and including Ryan just brought it up. Another good point, that it got so bad for Jalen Green, we thought he should have been benched. We thought it was a real consideration that he should have been benched for either Thompson or Cam Whitmore. But again, give Ime Udoka credit for sticking to his guns. He sat him on a bench. He spent like 5 or 6 games on the bench in the fourth quarter this year for not giving the effort, bad shooting, not playing great defense. And Ime Udoka is the type of coach. If you're not gonna play hard for all 48 minutes, you're gonna just sit down. That's just the type of coach he is. And I'm glad it just started, but it started with Ime, man. Like my funnest part of the season, it started with Ime Udoka, getting him and knowing that he took Boston to the championship his first year, even though he didn't win it. But we knew what type of coach that we were getting when we signed him. And give credit to Rafion Stone. He made that move really, really quick. And drafting Cam Whitmore, who fell to 20, I bet you a lot of people don't know why this guy still fell to 20. And he shouldn't have been at 20 because we would consider him taking him right there where we were. But again, I'm glad we got both of them. We got both of those guys, and those guys was a key part of our team. And now we got a core 6 who's going to be really tough to stop in the years to come.
I couldn't have said that any better. Our core 6 is absolutely fantastic. I mean, from a lot of the players that we do have, we have a lot of talent to work with. We've got a lot of possibilities. Jalen Green can be this, Şengün can be that. Cam Whitmore and Amen can be this and that. I mean, Amen is looking like, and he just a less aggressive Russell Westbrook, in my opinion. He's just like, if he can get that mentality that I can beat anybody off the dribble, he might, he's gonna be a machine. And again, we saw with the triple double, we've seen it with the efficiency when he does score, 15 or more points. It's like, the 60 65%. That's pretty dang efficient, And on top of that, he's a complete two-way player. Like I said, he should be an all defensive talent. He should be an all rookie first team guy. Obviously, the way that Houston always is, our luck is just horrible. I mean, when Jalen, he was selected to all first team rookie, we had to beg on Twitter and Instagram and everything to make sure that he got first team, because media was like, yeah, is he even better than so and so? I don't even know who that dude is. Don't ever compare Jalen Green to that. He's not even in the league anymore. So that's the difference right there. But that was in hindsight 2020 now. And anyway, hopefully Amen and Cam have the chance to make all rookie first team. I think that's very, very possible. Especially with Cam being the Minuteman. He's just such an electric scorer, just so fun to watch. And again, Amen Thompson, I cannot stop talking about this guy. I like him a lot. Again, drafting him. I was like, okay, let's see what we can do. He's a non-shooter, even though the team needs shooting. I wasn't sure what we were going to end up doing, but they made it work somehow. And despite being 500, we couldn't even make the play-in, let alone the playoffs. And there were just 2 teams that were in the play-in for the East right now that had, I think, 39 and 38 wins that made the play-in.
That just speaks on how bad the East really is, though. Really, if you just look at that, you got the Atlanta Hawks in the Bulls in the damn play-in, and that just speaks on how bad the East really is, and speaks on how really tough the West really is. When you have teams that's over 500, at least 9 or 10 games over 500, you still in 11 seed. That's not something we can control as Rockets fans. All as Rockets fans we can do is say like a great season. We improved a lot, man. How many games? By like an 18, 19 win difference. 19 win difference from last year. Huge improvement due to the fact that we even competed for a play-in spot. Just that's how great of a coach Ime Udoka really is, and how very good these players can be. How very good these players can be in the upcoming years. So again, I mean, we just was in a grind each and every week, each and every day. Western Conference. The Western Conference is the AFC of the NFL. That's what it is. That's the Western Conference is the AFC of the NFL. That's just what it is.
100%. 100%. Like there's not much you can say about that. The West is just so tight, man. And losing, 3 games in a row cost us the play-in. Right there. But despite, the record, despite where we are, like seeding wise, we have the best record ever for an 11 seed. That's crazy, right? A 511 seed. Like I remember, not that I was there necessarily, but Jordan was making the playoffs in the East with 36 wins, 37 wins his first couple years as a Bull. So the fact that we're, like 41 as 11 seed, just that says something right there.
Yep.
The quality around the league, from all teams, but especially the Western Conference. I mean, absolutely crazy. And it doesn't help that, some of the best players move from the East to the West, a la KD, Kyrie joining these other teams, and it's just crazy that we did all this. And not to mention most of it without Tari Eason, who was like not quite our glue guy, but just kind of played kind of that pick 'em up role, the energy guy, like kind of like Nate Hinton, but got a lot more minutes and obviously a lot better. And then, Şengün was out for quite a few games as well. And I thought when Şengün was out, I was like,
I thought it was over.
Season was done. I was like, damn.
A lot of people thought that. A lot of people did thought that.
Mm-hmm. But again, Jalen, he put that backpack on and he got to work. And thank you, Jalen, for, I appreciate the entire team across the board for getting us to where we are now. I mean, we're hanging our hats high, not making the play-in because we're a 500 team. I thought we were going to win 34, 33, 35 games max. We won 41. Wow. Despite all the adversity, despite the tournament rules too that we had to figure out, on top of Ime being a first-year coach. I mean, his first year there, he won like 1 game less than our last 2 seasons combined for wins in 1 year. That's just so crazy to me. Ime, thank you. And again, Stone, like, you deserve that contract. People were pissed that he got that contract. I am so happy.
No, he deserves it.
He deserved it. He worked for it. He got us Şengün. Thank you, OKC. I appreciate you guys.
He got us. He got us a man. He got us. He deserves it. He got us Tari Eason, and like you said, Tari Eason, he is our glue guy. Defensively, he is our glue guy.
100%. Yeah, exactly my point. And it's
I know, and I know we sucked for the last 2 years with Jalen Green, last 3 years of Jalen Green. But that didn't mean Raphael Stone didn't draft well. That didn't mean he hit that draft right on. He hit that draft right on the head. Kind of a couple of mislapses. I wish we kind of kept Tata Washington a little bit.
Josh Christopher.
Josh Christopher and all them. Those were good players. But again, Steven Silas didn't use them guys correctly at all. And Ime Udoka wasn't going to use those guys.
No, he wasn't. What was really annoying is when we first started the season. And I think we started off on a 3-game losing streak, right?
And then we had a 6-game streak.
Yep.
Right.
And so the first 3 L's there, everyone was, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Steven Silas, my bad. I was like, bro, it's 3 games, bro. So many people are very.
I thought that first loss to the Magic was bad, but
it was.
I mean, now that we're looking back on the end of the season, we're at the 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the Magic are? I mean,
yeah.
We didn't expect them to come out firing like that, and that's exactly how I thought our season was going to go. But I'm glad it went the complete opposite direction.
100%. I mean, there's only so much that we can do. Again, every team that's in the playoffs essentially is kind of looking for they're vying for a championship for the West. Every single team, up and down that. I mean, the Lakers, they get a rematch of the Nuggets. That's going to be insane. The Suns going to play the Wolves. That's going to be crazy. And then the Clippers play the Mavs, and whoever ends up winning against the Kings and Pelicans, they end up playing OKC in the West. And those are all teams. I mean, the Kings last year were the 3rd seed with the best offense in the league, and here they are now sitting at the 9th seed with the same roster. A guy who's potentially going to win. Yeah, it's just so stacked. I mean,
I wouldn't have predicted the Thunder to be the 1 seed or the Wolves.
I wouldn't either. I thought that would be 5 or 6, one of that. But I did think the Sacramento Kings was going to drop off a little bit. I just didn't think they would go drop off to the 9th because last year they surprised a lot of people. They caught a lot of people off.
They surprised everyone.
They caught a lot of people off.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just really interesting to see how it played out, especially where we are right now. Again, 41, man. 41 wins means a lot, and you guys can tell. Everyone watching can see how much it means for our team to win 41 games. I mean, going in against OKC, I saw James Harden, PG, and Kawhi weren't playing, and Russ, right? I assumed it was a W. It looked real tight there kind of at the beginning, but we ended up pulling away and maintaining, an arm resistance. So I appreciate our guys for not giving up completely, but man, I mean, it's just good to say that it's the first non-losing record team season we've had since the bubble, which the bubble feels like forever ago, but it's just a couple years ago, which is just absolutely insane. I would say so far this rebuild is looking like a success, right? I mean, it's really looking like a success. There's not too much to really say other than thank you, Stone. Thank you, front office, for getting our guys together. Dylan Brooks is a good addition. Hopefully we can.
Great addition.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we can see about trading him and this Nets pick for something a little nice. But that's just speculation for later on. And then Sengun, a star in a potential All NBA guy, an all-star guy who the West is so stacked. Sengun didn't make it, and if he's in the East, if the Rockets were in the East, we're probably looking at like a 7 seed minimum. Like the Magic ended up winning. Let's see here. 47 games.
I think if we was in the East, we make the playoffs outright. I think we 6 seed because again, look at who you got to play. At least we're not playing them 2 times a year. We're playing them at least 3 or 4. So you look at Atlanta, we're playing them 4 times, probably at 4 times or 3 times at best. You look at Cleveland, we playing them 3. It depends on the division too. We're playing them 3 times or 4 at best. So outside of Boston, Milwaukee, which is we beat Milwaukee this year. We did get Milwaukee this year. We did get the Knicks too. We got the Knicks. We didn't get the 76ers, but we could have beat them at least a couple of times. So think about it. We was in the East. I think with this, we'd make the playoffs outright. But just because we was in the West, we had to see Minnesota 4 times, which we got swept by them. We didn't even have a chance in those games. Right. That probably the last game we had opportunity in the last game. But again, Anthony Edwards happens again. We got OKC, which is we beat them twice. We swept the Kings. We lost to Golden State every single time we played them. After everybody been beating Golden State, we the ones that lost to them every single time. We beat Dallas once without Kyrie and Luka. Then we had a chance to beat them. We got busted in the heart by Exum. We got busted in the heart by
Exum, bro.
That's right there.
That was hard to watch.
That was hard to watch. That 3-pointer was hard to watch go down. But other than that, if we was in the East, I think we'd make playoffs at least outright if we make the playoffs.
100%. I mean, we get to face Charlotte, Washington, and Detroit 3 to 4 times.
3 to 4 times.
You might as well just mark those as W's immediately. I mean,
and we'll have Jalen Green versus the Wizards every year going from now on. So we all know what happens when Jalen Green plays against Washington.
Yeah, bro was slipping and sliding, bro. He was looking like a wizard out there for sure, man.
He's crazy.
He's absolutely terrible. I mean, we got a better record than the Wizards and Washington combined right now, and then Charlotte, who somehow has like Brandon Miller, who is, in my opinion, severely underrated. I think he's fantastic. He's looking everything like the number 3 pick over there in Charlotte. Him and LaMelo are going to be a fantastic duo, but they can only muster 21 wins in the East, so something's got to change for sure over there. But I mean, again, we're really just holding our head held high over here. 41 wins, man. I won't even lie to you. I did bet that we were going to win 39. It was under over, so I went for the under. I thought we were going to win 39 later on in the season, and we won even more than that when I was guessing around January. So it really just takes away. It's really just attributing to a lot of our players, right? The coaching staff and everybody. Again, thanks. Like, you guys did such a fantastic job up over there. So we talked about some of the mishaps, some of the disappointments, just kind of the generalistics of the season and some positives. So now, Ryan, I want to know, what was your favorite moment from this season?
Favorite moment of the season?
Favorite moment.
Jalen Green's crossover behind the back turnaround 3 against Washington.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was by far.
That moment replays in my head every day.
Yeah, man, I need to get a shirt. That was so crazy.
I need a shirt with that on it.
For sure. That was absolutely crazy. That's probably the best play for Houston for sure. I mean, if you guys don't know, the NBA is doing the votes for best play, best this, best fit, all that. So go vote. Jalen is on there for that play. So everyone go vote for that as the best pair of handles for Jalen Green. All right. Make sure we get Jalen an award, even if it's just an NBA regular media award. I'm okay with that. Add it to his resume. That's the
I think
show.
I think another highlight of the season, especially for Jalen Green, I think it was 37 against the Mavs in January or 36 against the Mavs in January. I think it was when Luka had like 70 or whatever on us. That moment to me is when Jalen that's when he realized he can do what he did the rest of the season. I think that moment is when he realized he's got it and he's got the ability, and that is when he realized that if he uses his speed, he can kill everyone on the court.
Yes. He's so fast. He's so, again, him, Amen Thompson, and Cam Whitmore, some of the fastest players on our team for sure. But Jalen's just lightning quick. If he can get that handle just a little bit better, just a little, like slow the handle down a little bit, be more concise. Not like Luka, but just, some a little more fluidity to it. I mean, that man was beating everybody. Again, in March, that run in March was just so amazing. I mean, almost averaging 35 and 5 throughout March was absolutely crazy on elite efficiency. I think he only had 2 games in March where he shot under 50%. Wow. Especially for no Şengün, right? So he's got all of this, yes, sir. H-Town turned up. Yeah. We is turned up right now, boy. We is turned up, man. We talking about Jalen Green, man. That's our boy. But it was just absolutely fantastic. So, Dante, same question, man. What was your favorite moment from the season?
My favorite moment for me, Jalen Green is the obvious choice, but I'm going to go another route. How about LP dropping off Wemby?
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Yeah. LP dropping him off, putting 40 piece on his head. Most of the points was on Wemby. About 20 or 30 points was on him, guarding him, and he was just dropping them off, man. He was dropping them off back to back, and he put Chet Holmgren to work too. LP did a lot of people like that. Gave Valanciunas the work, and he gave every top center in the league the work, man. He did. He was consistent again, man. But that 40 piece on Wemby's head, Twitter blew up on that one. And don't forget, I can never forget this. The day that we drew that card and Wemby just did like this. Didn't want to come to us. He did this and didn't want to come to us. Now look what happened. Now look where we at. Now look where he's at. It's gonna take him a while.
How many wins you got, Wemby? How many wins you got?
How many wins he got? He got 18 wins. I got 18 wins.
Do y'all remember the videos during media day when Wemby was breaking every shot? His first media day.
Yeah.
So the person who took those videos is actually a friend of mine. And so when LP dropped off Wemby that game with a 40 piece, I spammed him. That game was a magnificent game.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Also, what Wemby has that a lot of like centers now, or I guess younger centers don't have, is the weight and the muscle. Yeah, and that's what LP really has up on them.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got that old school kind of vibe, but also the new school center playmaking. Again, like Sabonis, and even to an extent, the reason why I want to sign Mason Plumlee is because Mason Plumlee is a playmaking center. He's a guy that he's not necessarily going to get you the 8, 9, 10 assist rate, like statistically, but he's a high IQ center. Right. But again, like that kind of model. Şengün is kind of like old and new school together. Again, like the post moves, kind of like Embiid's got, right? Just the post moves, being able to do whatever he wants to do. The Şengün shake and bake, anything he's got. Plus, he's always got the weight, and he's a willing passer. He'll do anything and everything.
Baby Jokic, literally.
Yeah. I got a question coming in. Let's answer it, boys. What do the Rockets in 3 years look like? Dante, go ahead and start this one off, man. What do the Rockets look like in 3 years?
I think in 3 years, I'm gonna say this: we look like a legit playoff team. Legit should be Western Conference Finals team. I would say that we back in the fold of contending again, as long as Jalen Green and LP, and barring no injuries, and our players continue to step up and develop the right way. I think we can be a Western Conference Final team. You can see us back. OKC, look what OKC at right now. They the number 1 seed. They the number 1 seed with Chet Holmgren. I believe this is his first full year playing basketball. So they're the best young team in the NBA, and we right behind them. So in the next 3 years, I can see us in OKC battling for the Western Conference. And OKC still have all those draft picks too. They still have all those draft picks, and we got the picks. We got Brooklyn picks, so we still own Brooklyn picks. So again, we can either trade them away to get someone for this team to get even more better, or we can hold on to them and just see what we can get. But again, you don't want those picks to run out of gas. So you got a feeling that as a Rocket fan, you want to get rid of them quick as possible. But again, we draft really well. Raphael Stone has been drafting very well. We got a guy that got say-so who he wants on this team and who he don't want on this team. And when James Harden tried to come on this team, Ime Udoka said, "Hell no, we ain't bringing him back. We done with this."
Hell no.
Now you look what we doing right now. We got a good culture, man. So the next 3 years, I can see us competing for the Western Conference Finals. If everything break right, all our players continue to develop like they did this year, hey, we can make it back to the Western Conference Finals. We can be that team again.
For sure. Ryan, what's your take?
Well, in 3 years, obviously, we probably won't have Fred. We definitely won't have Jeff Green. Probably won't have DB. So in 3 years, our bets will be gone. But by then, the young players that we have are 6. By then, they'll know everything they need to know. I definitely see us in the Western Conference Finals. Yep. I mean, hopefully the finals, but can't set my expectations too high.
Yeah.
So I see us as a second round, third round team.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely in 3 years contending minimum, right? Like maybe not like a 1 seed, but like contending in the playoffs. You know, we're back to playoff basketball. Games mean something. That random game on a Tuesday night means something every night, especially in the conference that's going to be so tough like ours. For sure contending. Like you said, we're not going to have a lot of our bench pieces. I mean, we're probably not even going to have Aaron Holiday after the season, you know, so I imagine we're going to have, you know, some swaps and whatnot. Go ahead.
Speaking on Aaron Holiday, props to him. What a season for him.
Yes,
he was a key for us this season off the bench.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean his play.
He doesn't get talked enough. He doesn't get talked about enough anywhere.
Yep.
He deserves the attention.
For sure. I thought he was going to come in and be just like a placeholder spot, like a third string point guard, you know. And then Amen, he was out for a little bit, and Aaron Holiday got to prove himself. And I mean, time and again, I mean, that floater, he really worked on that floater. And then his 3-point shot was
his 3 points. If he starts hitting 2-3 in a row, he's hitting them the rest of the game. He catches fire so quickly, and he stays with it. He stays consistent throughout the game whenever he's on fire.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, kind of like Drew Holiday, he's like a really pesky defender. You know, he was a much better defender than I thought he was. I think he played with the Hawks a couple years ago or the year before.
Yeah, he played with the Hawks. Yeah.
I did not watch any Aaron. I didn't really watch any. I knew who he was, but I didn't know like what kind of player he was. And for him to turn out to be that guy under Ime Udoka, just like Ime just knows how to get into them and just like dig in. Again, he turned Jalen Green into the defender I never thought he could be. And I'm not saying that Jalen Green's an All-NBA defender, but man, he made him around league average, if not better than league average. He started paying attention to the backdoor cuts that we complained about for the last 2 years. You know, being able to actually hold his man in a one-on-one matchup. I mean, keeping up with De'Aaron Fox on most plays, which is, I mean, Fox was considered the best, like the fastest player in the league for a while. So that says a lot to Jalen Green's attention to detail and, you know, the way that he's been able to do is, you know, act the way he has been and do what he's doing right now. But yeah, Aaron Holiday, man. He deserves it all. Like I said, man, holiday season, you know, around Christmas, he gifted us. Around New Year's, he gifted us. He's absolutely fantastic. And then even throughout March, sprinkled in there, you know, March and February, he had some pretty good games. But I'm glad you decided to bring up Aaron Holiday. He's a guy that is for sure underrated. I believe on Locked On Rockets, he won the underrated, or like most underrated player award, and deserving so for the Houston Rockets. I mean, where would we be without Holiday? And that's so crazy to say that he was an integral part to our team like that. For sure.
Yep.
But yeah, so back to the 3-year question, right? Let's end it off there real quick. Let me finish that question, I suppose. You know, like you guys said, contending. We're not going to have a lot of our players. We'll see where the draft picks are at. I'm hoping one of Şengün or Jalen are, you know, like officially elite. Like they're great. They're fantastic, you know. Şengün being an all-star talent and then Jalen kind of like all-star caliber, like within the realm of kind of like Jamal Murray and those kinds of guards. So building on the consistency, hopefully Jalen is a two-way player. Like I don't need him to lead the league in scoring if he's a two-way player. If he wants to be like a fantastic defender. Not Shea, not like a fake defender where he just plays passing lanes, right? Not like AI. I mean, an actual defender, kind of like Chris Paul, right? You know, the Kobe's and all of that, and the Jordans of the world. Being able to be elite at more than one thing. If he can be a defender and a scorer at once, and Şengün can be your all-around player with playmaking, I mean, we looking at, you know, top 4 seed, you know, we looking at trying to get that championship. We trying to get that chip, baby. Hopefully, one of these days. I mean, our banner is getting a little old. I got to go dust them off here soon. But we need a chip for sure. And Şengün might be our savior. I mean, when we prayed, we got a men. We got Şengün, the Turkish Lord himself. So who knows? Who knows? But I'm very excited to see what goes on for this future, as you guys are. I mean, I'm so excited to see what goes on.
Do y'all think we win a chip in the next 5?
God, Luka and Wemby. Man, that's so tough.
I think
that's what I'm saying. The West is such a tough conference.
Yeah, it's
so
hard
to predict with us.
Yeah, the West is so good. The West is going to continue to be so deep, I believe.
And more players just want to come to the West now and go to the Spurs.
Yep.
Yeah. Trae Young. There's been rumors of Trae Young.
I've been seeing that for a few months now.
I really see us competing because I don't believe KD and Devin Booker them. I don't think they will be in Phoenix like that. I believe Phoenix is going to be on a decline.
I think Phoenix is going to blow up.
Yeah,
I think their team is going to blow up. If they don't do anything this season or next season, their team is going to blow up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's just the Nets 2.0, just a little less toxic, you know. I mean,
Exactly.
there's a reason why their coach who brought them to the finals left after a little discourse and now coached the worst team almost in NBA history ever. I mean, they had the longest losing streak. What was it? 28 L's straight?
27, 29, something
like
like that.
20 plus
But
L's.
you know who they got over there though, right, Press?
Yeah, they got Smiley.
Yeah, Steven Silas, who lost.
Yeah.
What was our longest losing streak? We had a long losing streak every year that he coached, right?
Yeah, we had that 20 game losing streak, and then I think we had a 15. We had 2 15-game losing streaks, which are like the 20-game losing streak is. Yeah, man, it's the Silas story. It is what it, you know.
Silas story.
I get it. Yeah, the Silas story. That's what I call it, man. Hey, it is what it is, though. You know, I'm just glad that we fixed our problems. You know, we learned, we moved up out of there. You know, we got him gone. Again, he's a really good guy. You know, so none of this is personal. It's not anything to his character. It's just sometimes he's just not fit for the job. That's okay. Sometimes it's just how it is, you know. That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to know and admit it and stop saying that your players don't get after it. Because, man,
I used to think with Silas when we first got him that first season that it just wasn't meant for us because we got him during the Harden drama. But after seeing what he's doing with the Pistons, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I always thought Steven Silas could be a coach for more of a veteran young team, but it's clearly he can't coach a young team. I think a veteran team he may be able to. He may with talent with a better veteran team with talent he can be able to pull off some things, but with a young talent, or say if you get in a team that's rebuilding, Steven Silas is not the coach you want for that time.
No, he. I mean, I remember telling. Now we on the Silas rant, so let's get it all out. I remember when Silas would say after post games, like, no, they're not ready for these advanced kinds of techniques and advanced plays in the sense, like, bro, they got to learn. They got to learn. You got to teach them everything. And look, here they are. Our team ran zone this season a couple times. That didn't look pretty.
Jalen Green started playing off the ball.
Mm-hmm. He was fantastic. He had no hands on hips, right? He called him out when Jalen was sitting there on hands hips too long. We called timeout. Next play, Jalen Green out.
And like you mentioned earlier, when Jalen Green wasn't playing well in the fourth or in the third, Ime would bench him.
He'll bench him. That's all it really tell you. You gotta send players like that a message. And Steven Silas never did that. Steven Silas never really sent these players a message because you know why? Nobody really respected him. Nobody respected him and respected what he came from, and nobody respected what he said. Nobody took him serious. But when you get a coach like Ime Udoka who has been through it, and Ime Udoka has been through with structured organizations. He has San Antonio. He's played for San Antonio.
He came coaching San
Antonio. Yep, he coached San Antonio and Boston. Boston, those are structured organizations, and plus, so Ime Udoka is gonna learn a lot from that tree right there, and he's gonna take a lot in consideration. What he did in Boston, he did this in Boston. I bring it up plenty of times. Boston was 500 at the All-Star break. They went 31-9 after the All-Star break because he
called them out.
He publicly called out the team, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and let them know what it is and stuff like that. So when he did that, they went 31-9 the rest of the way. They made it to the finals. Now he comes here, and all it took is structure. All it took is structure for the team, and all it took is his first press conference. I'm not trying to hear these guys.
Player accountability too.
They're grown men. He came out and said, I'm not trying to hear that they're young. These are grown men. These are professionals in the league. And I said, I like it, man. I love me some Ime Udoka, and I'm happy that we got our coach, man. That's, we're going to get a lot of wins with this guy.
I love how he
not an excuse.
I love how he keeps the players on the team accountable. Like last season or when we had Silas, I don't know how often it was. I wouldn't see Silas pulling players during free throws and talking to them like I do with Udoka. Udoka does it every free throw, telling each player, hey, fix this, fix that. I mean, the accountability aspect is so huge, especially for our young team, and keeping them intact with what they should be doing. It's huge for us.
Yeah. Speaking of huge, in talks of Şengün potentially getting a max deal, I think Şengün has earned the rookie max, right? I think we can all agree on that. Here's my question. Has Jalen Green earned the rookie max? Because they're talking about giving him the rookie max. And again, all love Jalen Green, right? He had a fantastic, final third-ish to the season. If you even want to call that, final great 25 or so games. Did really good, but it was that those 2/3 of the year. If Jalen is even 3/4 of March in any of those games, we're in the plan right now. We win 4 more games with Jalen being better, just a little bit better during the regular, like the earlier bits of the season. Yeah, we're in the playoffs right now. We're in the play-in minimum. We're in the playoffs, right? So to me, I'm gonna answer my question, and then I want you guys to answer it as well. Jalen Green rookie max. I do not think he's earned the rookie max deal. I think he's earned, closer to it, within the realm of it, but not the max deal. So that's just me personally. I'm giving Şengün the max and paying Jalen a little bit less. Plus, it saves us a little bit more room money for, Amen and Cam to kind of see where they're going to be going forward in their season, as well as Tari Eason. We got to pay Tari. A lot of these guys are going to be getting paid here in the next 2-3 years as well. So we got to think about those kinds of options. But Ryan, I want to know, do you think Jalen Green has earned the rookie max deal? And if not, why?
I want to say yes, just because I love Jalen Green. Like I really wanted to get that rookie max, but Şengün is just busting everyone on that court. Like
he busted everyone's ass the entire year. The entire year.
Like in Jalen Green, it only started for him, like you said, like right before March. In March, yeah. Like this after All-Star break is really when he hit that gas. I don't know. I'm very in between, but I think Şengün deserves it.
For sure. Yeah, Şengün deserves it for sure.
I think Şengün definitely deserves it, but Jalen Green definitely should get very close to it.
Yeah, within the realm of, like I was saying, just not it, but like close,
Yeah, it's just he didn't have that full third year, like what's it called, like third year step that I thought he was going to take.
Mm-hmm.
But Şengün did, and that's where I see the difference.
Yeah, Şengün exceeded all expectations for his third year.
Yeah, I mean he should
coming
have been all-star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, if we were in the East, he's an all-star easily.
Absolutely.
Dante, what do you think? Does Jalen Green deserve the rookie max? Why not, or why so?
Again, I think he's going to get close to it. But Alp definitely deserved the rookie max. Again, I've been saying for like a couple of years ago, that he's our best player on the team. Now, Jalen Green may be our best scorer that can get up a shot at any time. For us, Alp, he's our best player, our best playmaker, probably our best defender that we got outside of Dillon Brooks. Probably our best defender that we got. Amen Thompson's going to be there. I believe Cam Whitmore's going to be there. Amen Thompson's already one of our best defenders and one of the best defenders in the league, if not already. But I think he's going to get the Alp definitely is going to get the max. Should be no question he's getting the max right now for his performances. And him being injured him being injured definitely will help his cause too. Us not making a play-in tournament, that will help his cause a lot too. But Jalen Green's going to get close to it. It shouldn't have to take you during the All-Star break just to figure out things each and every year. Remember his rookie year, we gave him a pass on his rookie year because again, we had a lot of drama that we had to go through. Stephen Silas. He's a rookie.
John Wall.
John Wall been an asshole, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad he's gone off this team. And guess what? Ever since he brought up those words, where has he been? On the couch. He has not played in the NBA. He has played a little bit with the Clippers, but he has not played in the NBA ever since he brought up those words.
He got traded back to us.
Yeah, he got traded back to us.
Yeah, he did.
You eat those apples. You eat those apples talking about our organization like that. And look where we at now. Look where you at. You on the couch right now watching us develop. But other than that, it shouldn't take you every All-Star break just to get going. His second year with Stephen Silas took him to the All-Star break just to get going. Had the same thing, took him to the All-Star break to get going. So every year of Jalen Green's career, it took him to the All-Star break just to really figure things out. It shouldn't have to take you that long just to figure things out, but I think he would get close to it. I think we're going to pay him, but I think LP is going to get the max. That's our best player. I think he can get the max.
If we could give him more than the max, we give him more than the max. You know what I mean? We throw at everything at it. But yeah, Jalen just is going to be within the realm of, but not the actual max. Oh, what were we going to say, Brian, before?
And don't get me wrong, Jalen Green definitely has a very high ceiling, but Sengun just has a higher ceiling. I think Sengun has a higher ceiling, especially for what he can do on our team.
Yeah, I agree. I think just because just like he can his playmaking is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Rebounding, that gives you a lot of things. Like he can affect the game without even scoring too much because he can play make and he can find it else. He can make somebody else better. Same thing like Nikola Jokic. Games are very similar. Nikola Jokic don't have to dominate a game scoring. He can just dominate the game finding another teammate or just getting rebounds or not giving up second chance points or getting a stop on defense. Jalen Green can affect the game probably one way, and that's just his scoring. If he's not scoring, how else can he affect the game if he's not scoring the ball? Now his playmaking got a little bit better later during the season. His
not there yet.
It's better. It's not LP's playmaking. So that's why I say LP, I agree with Ryan 1,000%. LP has a better ceiling. He has the better ceiling because he can do multiple things to impact the game.
And also, as a guard, Jalen Green doesn't have that playmaking that he should.
We saw the increase in January, right? It did take a bit.
We saw the increase, but it started to become his playmaking. It rose, then it just became consistent, but it could have rose a lot more.
Sure, and I think some of that does attribute to Sengun not being on the court because it's just Jalen. But I do agree. Yes, there are things that he's got to work on. I agree. I think Sengun's floor is higher than Jalen's. Like if this is their best, like this is the best they're ever going to be, right? Obviously, Sengun is currently better than him. I think perhaps I agree and disagree with the ceilings. I am biased. I love Jalen Green so much, and I like the quick, flashy guards. So, but that's just me. So this is more opinionated than factual. But I think Jalen has more potential than Sengun. But I think Sengun is more likely to reach his potential.
I think Jalen Green has more scoring potential. I think he has a lot as far as, if you want to say averaging 25 points per game or something like that, or probably winning the scoring title, he has that type of potential. But far as, being the best player and reaching a superstar level at that point, I think LP is going to be more closer to that just because his ability to do everything. Jalen Green's ability is the scoring ability. It's going to be the scoring ability. He has the potential to be a scoring champ. That's right. To be an elite, efficient scorer, to be an elite scorer. He has that. I think that potential right there still can be that. But far as ceiling wise and all-star wise, multiple all-star, say who can make the all-star games out of those two. I would favor LP because his ability to do way more. He's going to probably make more all-star teams. Jalen Green is going to make a couple. I believe he's going to make some all-star teams too. I believe he's going to make all-star team. But I believe his scoring ceiling is going to be really good. His scoring percentage is going to be really good.
For sure. And I'm very excited to see where his playmaking and especially for me, the defense. If he can just be if he's going to be a 3-level scorer and your defensive point of attack, that's a man that deserves, like everything, right? But again, we will see what happens in the offseason. He better be locked in that gym the entire time because last offseason we saw him working with Curry and Debo, and KD, and everybody. And the first half of the season, 2/3, that was a genuine disappointment. Yeah. I mean, that was just a genuine disappointment. It was really tough to see that like at points of the season, his rookie season was better than what his season was in his third year, And again, like I was saying all season, a lot of it was attributed to acclimating, understanding that there's structure and this and that. Because, like Şengün, he played overseas, they got the structure. The European players over there, they've got real structure over there. And Şengün won MVP over in the EuroLeague before getting drafted. So he's used to winning. He knows what it takes. Jalen Green, he played with the G League Ignite team. The G League Ignite team just got disbanded this season at the end of the year for the G League by Adam Silver. So if that says anything right there, he's got to learn. He's got to learn. And hopefully he learns fast because like we said, man, in 3 years, it could be going crazy. We really could be something. And if we were this year, right, we keep riding that wave, keep riding that high, the sky is the limit for the whole team. So, but guys, go ahead.
My question is, I'm just going to throw a question out there. What are y'all's expectations for Jalen Green next year? I mean, especially, I think mine is just seeing the consistency for both the first half and the second half of the season. That's what mine is. But I'm curious what y'all's are.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I need to see growth in his defense and playmaking, just in general, right? Just got to see the continued growth. Kind of like Anthony Edwards, we've seen his defense increase every year he's played. We've seen his playmaking increase every year. Like his IQ has developed so quick, especially for a guy who was just meant to just score. I want to see that kind of pattern, not necessarily for him to become Anthony Edwards, but I want to see Jalen Green become Jalen Green. I want to see more defense. I want to see more playmaking. But like you said, consistency is the number one thing, easily. I need to see him be able to do, maybe I don't need him to score 29 points on 80% shooting. No. But I do need to see him shoot, over 42, 43% consistently. I need him to be able to see that 3-point shot going in consistently. I need to see those free throws going down consistently and play consistent defense throughout the entire season. Not playing that like, I'm not playing too well. I don't really care to be here kind of defense. I don't want to see that. I want to see him play consistent defense all year long, consistent offense all year long.
If we're going to talk numbers, I want to see him average 25, 5, and 5 on 40%.
Wow,
I don't think that's
numbers.
After the second half of the season, I don't think it's like an unreal expectation.
Yeah, I think I can see Jalen Green averaging that. Like I said, I think he has a elite potential to be an elite scorer. So again, if he can get to that average, he will achieve my expectations. And like I said again, I think for this team to reach the ceiling point of everything and get to that playoffs, Jalen Green is going to have to be on Jalen Green. We know how good great Pete can do. We know how good Cam Whitmore will be. Amen Thompson will be. We still going to have Fred VanVleet and possibly Dylan Brooks there next year. But for this team to take a big time leap, Jalen Green is going to have to be the guy. He's going to have to show that I can still be this guy. It's going to have to be the duo of him and LP together. They got to prove that they can coexist together and they can make it work. Tyrese, hopefully he's going to come back. He will be back with a full season next year, so we would get better at that point. Depending on when we get in the draft. But for this team to reach the ceiling and go places, Jalen Green is going to have to be a key factor. He's the key factor.
Yeah, he is our X factor.
Well, we saw Şengün and Jalen, what was it, 30-10, youngest duo to do it? Is that what the stat was?
Yep.
We've seen them coexist like that.
Yeah.
I want to see them do something similar next season, but consistently.
Consistently.
At least Şengün maybe like 25-10 and then Jalen like a 25 game. Like I'd like to see that consistent with them.
For sure. One last question before we get out of here. Do we think Şengün's points are going to increase or stay the same at 21 points per game next season? And if they do increase, how high do you think they're going to go? Because, like I said, we're thinking Jalen Green around 25, right? So I'm just trying to see where if Şengün's going to be like a 22 or stay at a 21 kind of thing, just based on like simple play style and all that. There's only so many points that can happen in a single basketball game. So I'm just curious. Do we think with Jalen, right, keeping that at the base, that he's going to average more around that 25 points per game stage? Do we think Şengün's points are going to stay the same or go up?
I think they'll go up if Jalen Green becomes more of a playmaker with him, and they learn to coexist like they did with that 30-10 game consistently. I think that's when they go up. I think they stay consistent at 21 to the 23 range throughout the season. But I think his assist numbers go up.
Yes. They need to go up for sure. I'm tired of him averaging 3 assists a game. Go ahead, Dante.
The only reason his points will be down, and like I said, I can care less if they down to at least 19 or 20, because that means Jalen Green is at 25, and that's good for us. That means Jalen Green is at 25 points. But I'm going to say this, the reason why they should go up and will go up, I would say he would be at 23, 24, because his free throw shooting, if he can make consistent free throws, think about how many points that much as he get fouled, think about how many points per game. He averaged 20 this year, right? Think about if he made those free throws. Think about if he was at least 76, 78, 87, 80%, at least 80% or 77%. Think about the points per game he averages. He averaged at least 25 points per game. So if his points are down at least at probably 19 or 10, which is 19 points, 10 rebounds, at least 5 assists, I wouldn't be mad at that because I think that's all-star caliber. That's only because of Jalen Green is averaging 25.
Averaging 25, right?
Yeah, only because his number, he took a big step up. And will not be mad at that about his points production, because we know, hey, Jalen Green is this guy. Jalen Green is turning into this superstar. Now LP is willing to sacrifice for Jalen Green, just like Jalen Green. We felt like Jalen Green. Listen, we know we tired of Jalen. We saying bringing up when Jalen Green's playing so bad. It just felt like Jalen Green played so goddamn bad in that first half that this man was sacrificing offense to win games. That's how it literally felt out there when we were winning games. And you're looking at LP being consistent. Jalen Green, what's wrong? We saying what's wrong with Jalen Green? And I saw Will on Twitter post this too. I believe he posted one time, and I said to myself, it really feels like Jalen Green is sacrificing his offense to win games. Like it was games when he was scoring 6 points, 10 points, and we were still winning these games because guess what? He was on the bench and everybody else was playing. Tari Eason would come off the bench and they would be playing well. And it just seemed like he was sacrificing for us to win more and more games, which is that's good. But we need you to be Jalen Green. But only reason I say, if he takes a nose, if LP takes a nosedive at least 19 and 10 rebounds and 5 assists, only because Jalen Green stepped up his game. But I respect LP to average at least 23 points per game or 24 because of his free throw shooting will be probably that much better now.
Yeah, for sure, especially in the Ime, everyone gets the E kind of offense. So we'll see what ends up happening. But I think that's going to have to end it, right? We're wrapping it up here, approaching an hour. So thanks, Ryan, for joining, man. It was really, really fun to have you on. Yeah, absolutely. And then Dante, of course, man, appreciate you hopping on the channel, man. Appreciate you hopping on the channel. So, all right, Ryan, let them know where they can plug in and find you.
Well, my Twitter is at RyanDime15, and then I'm pretty sure that my Instagram handle is also the same. So y'all can find me there.
For sure. Go and check them out. And Dante, tell them about your YouTube, man. Where can they find you?
Coach Dante on YouTube, Coach Dante 31 on IG, Coach Dante 31 on Twitter as well.
Man, be sure to check both these guys out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow this account at the H-Town Rundown. We've got the XApp account over there at the H-Town Rundown, so be sure to check that out. And then Instagram as well, the H-Town Rundown. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to check your boy out at drip2ps_GAWD on the X app or the Instagram app that's drip2ps_JWDD, 2 Ds over there. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment down below. I want to know your favorite moment from this season and your most disappointing, your least favorite moment from the season. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Peace.